Hello, welcome to the Age of Listening channel. We're on the end now of our series at looking at numerology and the importance of it within tarot. And we've been unpicking the newer version of tarot, which is the Rider-Waite-Smith, by bringing in the original numerology that was so important with the Tarot de Marseille. Please like, subscribe, stick a heart in the comment section. It helps it helps the algorithms and for more people to see me. But let's look then at what we've got. So here we have in order the first 10 cards of the major arcana. We've learnt in the series that justice is actually the real 8 and not the strength card, and the Rider-Waite-Smith swapped this round. We've learnt that the secret societies, the Order of the Golden Dawn that Rider-Waite-Smith belonged to, which they later left after some disagreements with their order, and actually went running to the church, which is quite interesting, but in itself. But here we have, and I was trying to explain, well, how do I finish this off? And my guide said to me, explain it this way. The magician is so the fool on his journey walks through the first major arcana, and wands represent the earthly plane of existence. Like you would a child, you teach them the fundamentals of living, and wands represent the fundamentals of living. So looking at these 10 cards, 10 is the higher level of the number 1, and it signifies the end of this important cycle of learning the 10 major arcanas, the first 10. But a change of circumstances is happening, and it's going to lead you to higher spiritual understandings. And the High Priestess, number 2, is going to take the lead now. She's going to go with the Fool, and they are going to go on a journey together to now learn about the spirituality of the next major arcana and the next cycle in his life, to learn to be complete. So let's put that here, because I always like you to get some visualizations. So she now goes there, and she takes him on a journey through strength, death, temperance, the devil, tower, star, moon, the sun, and judgment. And at that point you go to 3, because the world card is 3, and because it's 21, 2 and 1 is 3, 3, 3, 3. And you have the magician as being the earthly planes, the high priest of being the spiritual, looking at the spiritual planes. And when you're at the end of those two sort of sections of learning, you then get the world, because you're joined together. And you have an individual who is part of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. It's one way. I'm trying to give you a really simplified version, because tarot is actually, it's about 5 levels deep, which is why people often don't understand this particular deck very well, because they're kind of, they didn't realise. But anyway, so let's look at 10 and what it actually is. Remember, with all of our 9s, this is completion. The Fool has learnt everything that's needed to be learnt. And in 10s, we now have the beginning of a new journey, transformation with the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune means it's time. And imagine that with a deep booming voice, or an angelic sort of voice. Just make sure my cards so you can see them. Imagine you've got a deep booming voice one day, or you're about to go into an interview and somebody comes out and they say your name and you know you're next. It's time. And that's what the Wheel of Fortune means. It's now time. Whether you kind of like it or not, your next cycle is starting. And so we know spiritually, you're now on the spiritual journey of the rest of the major arcana. But let's just look at these cards. Tens, okay, always mean a birth in which new life starts. And it's the higher level of number one. It signifies the end of an important cycle, but it's not the end so much as the beginning through a change of circumstances, which is going to lead you to something else. So when you get that card, it is the beginning of something new. So let's, with bearing that in mind, let's look at this then. The beginning of something new with the Ten of Swords, because he has all the swords behind him, signifying that he has learnt and has everything ready for this new cycle. Here, they learnt everything in 9, and now they have a complete understanding of how to manifest everything through their control of their feelings in order to go to the new cycle. Very spiritual. Pentacles, earthly sign. The wisdom is there to know how to manifest everything in your new cycle. And lastly, we have the this juggernaut of energy, where he has a small hamlet and a field that's been newly overturned, the soil, and it's lush with, I mean, you very rarely see these trees and bushes in the background, but they're there in this, in this particular card. And he is strong and muscly with the colours that are showing harmony and confidence, rulership and intelligence, happiness. And he knows what it feels like to be victorious. He loves that energy, and it is going to help him to prepare him for that next season, that next change. So when we look at this particular card, it is there's 5 levels of understanding. Let me lift that up. There are 5 levels of understanding in the 10 of major arcana. And people said, oh, you really went in depth with the symbols, with my going deep into tarot symbolism. You'll see it in a playlist of mine. I didn't. I gave you level 1. I gave you level 1, would you believe? I think I'm going to put at the end, or I might put up here. I might put it in description, actually. I might put it in description. A guy called Robert Sefer, I think it is. And it's an interesting thing for you to look at, because this wheel he talks about, he doesn't realise it and he doesn't mention tarot, but actually he is talking about it. But yeah, that's another subject for another day. But people can barely handle just looking at basic symbology within tarot, so I don't think I want to really do it to you again. But this is all about change, and actually I'll give you a little bit of a sneak thing. Again, it's not about what we believe, it's about what they believe. Within the story of the 12 tribes of Israel, this is actually discussing how they set up 4 basic camps. People always tend to think that they set up 12 camps for the 12 tribes, and actually they didn't. They set up 4, and each of them was named after these 4 elements. It goes super deep, but it's okay for right now for clients to just say that it is a completion card. It took over when currency was invented as being completion, but completion actually is 12. And but you know, with the onset of the Emperor and the Hierophant, 12 changed and went to 10. But anyway, so where does that leave? After 10 then, what's actually the next card? We're on a new journey. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, so what comes next? What comes next after the Wheel of Fortune is we're starting on inner spiritual lessons, and the first one is 11, and 11 is the highest degree of number 2, and is seen as a master number, 1111. So this is a path of spiritual awareness that the Fool is now on. He's left the confines of learning about earthly matters, which is, I think I talk about it in my video, it's under spirituality in my playlist, about discernment, and I really highly recommend that you have a look at the discernment video, because this is what this is about. If you want to go towards spirituality, you have to understand the Strength card, and really it's relating to being open-minded and using intuition. Gifts is attributed to 11. Psychic abilities, understanding frequencies, and sensitive, you know, being sensitive really, and balancing the male and the female. That's all what 11 means. So this is talking about my video, and I think I'll put it up actually. I'll put it as one of the ends. So I hope that helps anybody understanding about 10s. I know I'm a bit heavy, but to be honest, it's just the way I am. All of the signals are there. I'll put the description for Robert Zephyr's, and you'll understand why the Wheel of Fortune is so important in number 10s. Okay, I'll leave it there. Give me a heart, thumbs up, and subscribe for my next series. Might be on colours, but I'm definitely going to go through the different, I think I've done elements, and so I've done one element. I don't know why, but I've got to do the other 3, so I think I will do them, so it really hones into you what the elements actually mean, and it will staple it into your head, so that when you have a reading with somebody and you get cups, you will absolutely 100% know what cups are about, or what swords are about. Yeah, that's the whole point of it anyway. And yeah, all right. Bye everyone.